Hi everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome to Titanfall. If I had to give you a description of what Titanfall is, I would say you just basically have to imagine Call of Duty if they gave you control over a really agile soldier in the future, and instead of kill streaks, you got to call in a giant fuck-all mech that you could drive around. That's basically Titanfall if you want a description. If you want to really understand what the game is, you need to play it, or at least watch someone play it. Watching me play it, probably acceptable in the end of things. I'm not terribly awesome at it yet, but just the stuff you can do, even at a basic level, like some of the wall running, the jumping, the climbing, you need to see it and kind of understand how much fun it is to just get around like that. But the basics of it are pretty cool. Every kill you get, or every hit on somebody you get, is going to give you some time off till when you can drop your Titan. Now, Titans are really a big part of this game, but I find that I need to stay the hell out of them if I want to do anything in the real world. You saw there, I got a total of about a minute taken off before I could call my Titan in. Just in that little sequence there, and a few seconds before it as well. And that's kind of the idea. You need to get as many of those kills or hits or anything like that as you can manage in a short period of time, so you can be the first one to call your Titan in, because they are these big force multipliers. They can usually take out pilots in one or two hits from their main weapons. A good Titan pilot can probably kill another Titan in close to a couple seconds, depending on what the situation is. And once the areas start filling up with Titans, holy shit. But of course, you're seeing here, I'm getting a bunch of points. I'm also killing guys who are not actual players. You're going to see these guys around on our team and the other team that are listed as grunts or as specters. Like right there, the militia grunt. I'm going to get a kill on one right there. These are computer-controlled characters. They don't really do much in the way of damage or anything like that. So, you are tempted not to look at them, but they do give you a pretty attractive time off before you can call in your Titan. Here's mine. I'm going to, instead of getting in hit, start running along these walls, doing these double jumps, building up a lot of speed. It's great stuff. I really suggest, instead of jumping in your Titan for a little while, instead going around, clearing the area out, getting some more points. I find the game is way more fun when I play it like a parkour first-person shooter rather than a first-person shooter that allows me to get into a giant tank. The AI in the Titans is actually pretty decent. It'll follow you around. You can set it to guard mode, so it'll look in the same direction you were and just keep looking in that direction. So if you want to do that, you can totally pull it off. If you want to pilot it, all you have to do is get near yours and hold the E button, and you'll just get picked up by it or jump into it. You can also mess with enemy Titans, like I do here. This is an auto Titan, so as soon as I get on the back of it, it actually goes into disabled mode, and then I get on it again, and I start punching it to death. It's pretty great. So you can climb on these things, enemy Titans and friendly Titans, but when you get on enemy Titans, you get access to their control panel. And this goes right through their shields. You can just fire straight into this thing and do damage to it until it's gone. And when you doom a Titan, it means it will eventually explode. So I basically killed that thing right there. Here are some Spectres. Spectres are these robots that the enemy team and your team use. If you get close to one and hold the E button, you'll be able to hack them and make them go onto your team. It's actually a lot of fun. It's one of those really cool little details about the game that can make it kind of cool. Now, the issue you may have with the game, and a lot of people have mentioned it, is that it's kind of rare to see some players. For example, I went a few minutes here without seeing anyone. Just seeing those Spectres and the militia guys. And that is actually a pretty legit complaint. I'm not going to say to anyone that that's not really a problem in this game. There are maps where you will not run into anyone for a long time. And it's more because apparently, I get punched off of this thing. I got punched straight off of the top of that guy because I didn't mean to get on the friendly one. I meant to get on the enemy one. But yeah, he just straight up killed me there. But yes, it's one of those games where you will run into a lot of grunts rather than a lot of enemy players. really kind of annoying in a sense, but I can kind of understand considering how small the maps are, or large the maps are, and how few players. There's only 6 on each team, which can be a little weird in the year of our Lord 2014. We can't have a multiplayer shooter that has 12 people per team as a standard or anything like that. But with the Titans that go around the map, and just the how much space those things take up, I can almost understand it. I don't understand what happened there. I think it was trying to do the kick animation, but it just did the neck snap animation instead. Either way, those things will kill somebody that you're targeting, so it's worth just meleeing the guy straight up. It's a one-hit kill. The Titans, of course, are massive things. Taking on a Titan as a human is a little daunting. Every character is equipped by default with an anti-Titan weapon. Mine is this Archer Heavy Rocket, which takes a lock-on and then does some pretty heavy damage to whatever Titan it's targeted at. Pretty cool stuff. But for the most part, as a human, you're going to want to stay the hell away from Titans as much as possible, unless you're going to rodeo them like I did earlier. Get on top of the thing, fire into its core, and kill it off. As fast as possible, really. Now, I'm playing Hardpoint, which, if you've played Call of Duty, you'll recognize as domination. Go to hell, Spectre. And it's actually really fun in this mode, especially with the way people move. In Call of Duty games, I feel like a lot of domination rounds basically ended up with one team dominating and holding all points, or holding all but one point and just spawn camping the other team. In this game, it doesn't seem to happen as much, mostly because you have a ton of ways around the levels. You have a ton of options. A good pilot with a Titan could really break out of a spawn lock and turn a game around. And of course, a team that can get around and knows the map and can flip around like I do here, and can capture points behind enemy lines, is a huge benefit. Now, when you have a Titan ready to deploy, you can actually come in with the Titan instead of calling it in and then jumping into it. So that's always an option. I have not spent as much time as I probably should have getting all the Titan upgrades I can. As a matter of fact, I've got a couple upgrades, but I don't really have the other Titan chassis. There's a few of them in the game. You can see here, this guy is not really aware of the fact that I'm on his back. It's kind of weird that's the case, because when you are on the back of somebody, it actually gives you a thing that says this enemy player is rodeoing you. And there's an ability, or a type of, whoa, I almost got fucked there. There's a type of countermeasure that you can use in the game called Electric Fog that will basically hurt anyone who gets within a range of your Titan while the fog is active. And that's basically the usual way I die when I'm on the back of one of these guys. That guy is going nuclear. Ugh. So, a nuclear ejection basically means that when these guys go off, they create a huge explosion in the area. So you want to stay away from that. But here's Titan gameplay. It's kind of neat. The pilots, as you've seen, are pretty much a danger to Titans on foot and in the air. Now with the Titan, I can hit the space button and do a dash. I can run, just as you normally would. I can pull up a vortex shield, as that guy did back there. And the vortex shield is actually pretty cool. It's going to basically absorb all rounds fired at it for a time, and then when you let go, it fires them back at whatever target you're aiming at. It's pretty cool. Right here, I'm just gunning down people in their base. Titan ammo is basically infinite, though you do have to reload. Oof. I could have punched that guy, and it's actually a pretty cool animation where they just basically explode because the Titan is way too much, even for a pilot. And according to the game, the pilots are these like really highly trained super soldiers almost. So it's very rare that they're going to get like outdone by a militia grunt. But other pilots apparently are a major threat to them. And I think that's just a really cool way of looking at it. But unfortunately, I still would have liked if there were less militia grunts and more pilots around in these maps. But like I said before, I can totally see why they wouldn't want to do that. The Titans take up so much space that it's really dangerous to think that you can just, say, I'm going to put more Titans on the map. It doesn't work like that. I am going through the motions here. This guy is launching nothings at me, and I'm just having issues. I have a couple things here. I have slaved warheads. I have the 40mm cannon, which I keep thinking is the railgun for some reason. But look at that. Oof, that's painful. But this is the epilogue. The epilogue is the end of the match, where the enemy team has to get to these drop ships, or basically all get killed. It doesn't really mean anything. If you die in the epilogue, you die. It doesn't change the win conditions. It just gives you a couple extra points if you're able to get out, or if you're able to kill everyone before they get to the ship, or if you're able to destroy the ship when it gets there. We got about a few seconds here. But you can see the Titan movement is not much slower than human movement. You just lose your ability to wall run and stuff, which is not a huge loss, but I still prefer being a pilot to a Titan. It's just so much better. The experience is so much more fun. It reminds me of why I liked Call of Duty back when I liked Call of Duty. Just running around, gunning people down, not really having any problems, having a good time. It's good stuff. 8-4, not bad for me, especially. You can see people on the other team were going 16-6, and one guy went 0-11. Now, in other modes, you actually do get counted for killing those grunts and militia guys. But this time around, not so much. This is because Hardpoint only worries about your captures of points in terms of your total score. Not a bad round, though. Really good for me, too. And I get a couple of different things, and it's all good times. But yeah, that's Titanfall. I have a couple more of these videos ready to go, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Bye.